vacation tomorrow, so we're gonna wait until we get back. About a week.
Okay. Okay, we're opening the planning board meeting for May 19th. It's now 7:42. And the first thing on our agenda is a signage special permit hearing for Joffran at 42 Pine Street.
Notice is hereby given in accordance with Mass General Law, Section 40A, and the Norfolk zoning bylaws, Section F9A18, that a public hearing will be held on Tuesday, May 19, 2015, at 7:30 p.m. in room 124 at the Norfolk Town Hall, 1 Liberty Lane, Norfolk, Mass. For Joffran Inc. relative to a special permit application to allow an 8-foot by 22-foot building-mounted sign at 42 Pine Street. Site is located in the residential zoning district, reference Assessors Map 25, Block 82, Lot 1. Application materials are available for public inspection in the office of the Norfolk Planning Board during regular office hours.
This is in a residential zone? Is that what it just said?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
It's not, it must be a typo.
yeah, yeah.
It's in a commercial zone.
Mr. Roy. Come on up. I'm surprised it
Roy,
took you so
you're
long
fucking
after
no
we
good.
changed that
Come-
zoning on
come
the
to-
signs
Yep.
to come over here.
I had to look at my neighbor's signs. Here is the sign to scale.
Yeah, we have, yeah. It's in our package, right?
Oh, is it?
It's right in the public hearing, the first, there you go.
Yeah, it might not be in color, so.
Oh, that's
No.
My copy is in color. Here you go.
I did print it in color, so.
So that's, you said it's 8 by what? 8 by 22? That's a reasonable sign, don't you think?
Considering we're 350 feet from the road.
I mean, the zoning was written, so a lot of it's determined whether it's proportional with the size of the building, so that you could, I mean, potentially, probably could have gone even just a little bit larger if you
I think so,
wanted to,
too.
I think.
I have no reason to be larger.
Oh, okay.
Good.
Well, I see nothing wrong with this. I really don't have any questions on it. Do you have any questions on it?
I only have two. The one is about the light. I thought that we had pretty strict regulations about how we light signs, that they couldn't be internally lit.
Oh, is this internally lit?
Is it internally lit, or is there a light shining on it?
It's a light shining on it.
Okay. And then just whether or not we would give a courtesy review to design review board. Those are my only two questions.
I
Just a
wouldn't bother.
courtesy.
Yeah. How about you,
Stephen,
Walter?
just a catch-up question, Stephen. You know it, so maybe you can help elucidate me here and then also the folks at home. What are the regulations that stipulate the sign size that this falls within?
I'm sure that Ray has it there. I mean, we have a maximum size, and then it goes into whether or not it's proportional with the building, you know, and the board would make a determination at that point. But I think Ray can find that kind of quick.
Maybe I can't, Steve. Just a second, I'm just kidding.
Is there a special section for building mounted signs, commercial?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're looking for F9, A18.
Oh, okay, that was quoted in the public hearing, right?
Yeah.
Notice. F9A18, right?
Yeah, well, the maximum sign would be 24 square feet is your typical. But under F9A18, and special permit granting authority may issue special permits for larger or additional signs. As noted, if determined that the architecture of the building, the location of the building, with reference to the street or nature of the establishment is such that a sign should be permitted in the public interest.
A larger sign.
A larger sign,
Yeah,
yes.
okay, so the maximum sign was what, 24 square feet?
24 square feet.
Okay, and this guy is gonna be close to 200, right?
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Right.
Okay, thank you.
But I think that what is written up in there describes exactly what we have here.
Yes.
Where it's far from the street, it's a
Yeah.
very large building.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, it'd be different if this were right up at curb level.
Correct. Yeah.
Right.
For sure.
Yep.
Yeah. John, do you have any
No
questions?
questions, it looks fine.
No other questions? I think we're all set with you.
Unless anybody's here in the audience.
Get my money back from the 15 years ago.
Do I remember anything about money from 15 years ago? Are you kidding? Do we have any
I,
questions from the public here? No? Okay. Well, I
Make a
guess-
motion.
Yep.
We have to close it first.
Yep.
And I move that we close the public hearing for the Joffre Inc. special permit application for a building-mounted sign.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All done.
Do we have to move to make a vote?
Well, we don't have to vote tonight. We can, we'll
Wait till
have,
they
it-
get the decision
have
drafted.
the decision, yeah.
Mr. Roy, we'll have that decision for you, ready for you the next meeting, and I'll file that at the town clerk. I'll send you a copy. You're welcome.
You ready again, Stephen?
What's that?
You ready for the next?
Yep. Okay, we're going to be having the site plan hearing for 5 Phillips Way.
Notice is hereby given that in accordance with Mass General Laws, Section 48, and the Norfolk zoning bylaws, Section F11, a public hearing will be held on Tuesday, May 19th, 2015, at 7:45 in Room 124 at the Norfolk Town Hall, 1 Liberty Lane, Norfolk, Mass, regarding a site plan application for property located at 5 Phillips Way, lot number 15 in the Shire Industrial Park in Norfolk, Mass. The applicant, Don Mason of Norfolk, Mass., is proposing to construct a new warehouse and office building with parking and appurtenant utilities. The property is located in the C1 zoning district, reference Assessor's Map 18, Block 69, Lot 41-11. Plans and application are available for public inspection in the office of Norfolk Planning Board.
Okay, is there someone here to present for 5 Phillips Way?
I thought I know Paul Cutler, it wasn't able to make it tonight, but the applicant was supposed to be here.
Oh,
Let me think, you're not the applicant for 5 Phillips Way, are you? You're not.
Could we postpone it on the agenda in case he does show up?
well, we could just not open it and open something else in place, right?
I just read the notice.
It's open.
Well, it's open, but now, can we just leave it open and have another hearing while it's still open? I don't think we have to officially postpone it. I suppose we
It's
could.
fun. We could have two open at the same time. Why not?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But we have to wait until 8 o'clock anyway.
So leave, or you could probably do some business, but leave it open, and then
Yeah.
if he does show,
Oh, yeah, we're not gonna close it if, I mean, it's only 5 minutes later, actually on time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks.
Board reorganization, we're going to put off until we have the full contingent of the board here. What's the Turner Street and Greaves A&R plan?
Yep. Right here. You have comments from Gino Gino recommended that the plan be endorsed, but you do have comments from the abutter. Towards the back of your packet, Walter.
Okay.
From 5 Phillips Way.
No, you've looked at this already, right?
yes.
Haven't you? No, this is in the subdivision, isn't it? This lot over here, isn't that what they're putting, are they planning on having a building lot there?
No,
Is that what this is? That's on Massachusetts Avenue?
let me just get my orientation, sorry, Steve. Lot 1, lot 3, lot 4. Yeah, lot 4 is a building lot.
But they've got it located within, on Mass Ave, I think, within Christina Estates, is that right?
Yes.
Well, Christina Estates, when it was written up, has a restriction as to how many can be built in there. So I don't know if you can add another lot to an existing
It's a good question.
subdivision if it says exactly how many houses are allowed in the subdivision.
Here's a small view of it, John, here.
So we'll have to check the Christina Estates.
Okay, yeah, we can do that.
So which lot are they trying to create? Are they breaking this up into
3 lots, yeah.
3 lots?
Yes.
These 3 here?
Yeah, 2 on Turner, and 1 on Mass Ave. But unfortunately, the one on Mass Ave is within an existing subdivision that has a restriction as to the number of lots.
So the one on Mass Ave qualifies as far as the dimensions go, but it's right in the middle of a wetland, is that it?
Yeah, that's a,
Another issue.
I mean, that doesn't affect the A&R status, correct, Fred?
Right.
As long as it meets the zoning dimensions.
You know, you look at this, it's conceivable that you could pull a road in through here and put the buildable part
Where's
up
that,
in here.
Walter?
It's conceivable.
to do an estate lot.
You could, yeah, you could come
Yeah.
off Turner Street with a road in, just take a little sliver of this guy's, of lot number 2's property and get into lot number 4 from Turner Street and put your circle up here, you know?
Yeah, you just need a driveway, you don't need a road.
Yeah. That's right, driveway, yeah. And that looks like it might be outside Christina Estates as well, you know?
Mm-hmm. Although an estate lot has to be a certain size, what size does an estate lot have to be? Is it 3 times the size?
3 times the existing zoning.
This is
yeah.
3.91 acres.
Well, this lot 4 is 355 right now, it says.
Which one is this,
Different
the
number.
neighbor's land, do we know?
Which?
Which plot is the neighbor's land that wrote this?
I'm not, they're in Christina Estates, aren't they? I haven't read the
It's
whole.
No,
a
they're
different
on-
number, different pages.
They're on Turner Street.
Oh, they're in Turner? No, Greaves is on Turner. Oh, no, they're on 40 Turner.
Did you look at this plan, Ryan?
I took a quick look at it.
Oh, so they're across the street.
So this is the lot he's trying to create. This is 3.91, like. How are you gonna get to this
Wait a
again,
minute,
Walter?
this is different than this plan.
What's that?
Well, this little plan we've got in the handout
Uh-huh.
is different than this guy here,
Oh.
because he's only got 3 lots counting the house on it, and this one's got 4 counting the house on it, so I don't understand. You see this lot here?
Oh, yeah, he's got 3 on Turner Street.
It's missing off this plan.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know which of these plans to go by here.
All right.
I'd like to,
Well, I imagine the ones we have in front of us are these up here are the most current.
what were Gino's comments on it?
The plan, this is what a butter, the neighbor sent, that plan. That's the plan that was submitted. Gino, here, he said 8 o'clock or something.
I think the big question is, the question Steve brought up, is whether you can have a lot on Massachusetts Avenue or not.
And the neighbor's saying this could be in the open
Especially
space
given the
area?
wetlands location that they have it shown.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, if you're not allowed, the wetlands doesn't matter anyway. It's just
Right,
you're not gonna
yeah.
be able to build there.
Yeah.
Nothing, there's nothing buildable on that bloody lot, you're all within wetlands, isn't there?
No, right along the road, there's where it says 50-foot building setback line. That swath there is,
Up front here, or on
Yep.
that side?
yep. Because in the center there, it says wetland. Come back towards you. Back towards you, that way. Oh,
Right in here.
right here, this is all wetland.
Yes, but this is a buffer zone, look at this. Isn't this the buffer zone that you're gonna stay out of?
Yeah. Well, you can work in it, but with permission.
But I mean, that buffer zone certainly extends from there out to the street.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would think.
Just looking at it by scaling this building setback line, it looks like the building setback line is probably going to be similar to where the 50-foot no-build line is right there in that section. Still, he's able to apply to see if he can get a permit. I'd like to hold off on this and look at the plan a little bit more carefully, and check the subdivision rules and see,
Yeah.
see if a lot is allowed, and check into the comments from the neighbor, Mr. Martin, and see where the open space actually is that he's speaking of.
Timothy Martin and Mary Ellen Hurley.
That's the only other thing raised by the neighbor is about Turner Street,
Right.
and he's talking about having to street widen And I guess I'm not understanding why that would be necessary, given this plan.
There's already been work done on Turner Street as a
Yeah.
result of the
Of
other
the-
subdivision.
Of Fern Ridge.
Fern Ridge. Up to a certain point.
So do you think that's a
Martin's big concern
valid?
is the catalpa tree, which is right on the corner. The road butts right up against the tree. Those are the folks with the barn. The road makes a sort of a left-hand bend
On Turner Street?
on Turner Street, and they live on the right-hand side, and they've got a catalpa tree right up against the edge of the pavement. So their concern is having to take that tree down if the road ever gets widened.
Oh, well,
Why would, my point is, does this plan to widen the road?
I think it's just the fact that there's more development there, and, you know, the DPW may be inclined to try to make the road safer.
Is that, is that tree visible in terms of location on this plan?
At that bend right there?
Right up here?
Yes.
Okay, so it's essentially right then?
Yeah.
You can take a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, yeah.
So is this an accepted right-of-way for this lot? Or does it need road,
Is Turner accepted?
I think Turner's an accepted.
where this lot is, they talk about widening the
accepted
road.
roadway.
where are they talking about widening the road?
Well, he says it in his letter. I don't know that
They're
these
concerned.
plans call
They're
for
just
it.
concerned about it.
That's sort of my question, is he says it in his letter. Is that necessarily true just because he
We're
says it
gonna
in
go
his
check and see
letter?
then.
Yeah.
Because there was nothing from us that said the road had to be widened,
Yeah.
although it's always a good opportunity to have
Right.
some work done on the roads if someone wants to put some houses in.
Yeah, but these are A&Rs. We can't require that, right?
Oh, that-
The issue we
that-
had,
that is true.
last time we were talking about Turner Street, the issue we had was the further connection between Turner and Mass Ave, remember?
Yes, we would
And
love
we-
to be able to connect
And
all the way
we
through.
agreed not to do that.
Right.
Did we?
Yes.
Did we agree not to connect?
Yeah.
Really? Why would we do that? I
Well-
thought we would always connect if we could.
It's not,
It wasn't clear. I think it was in the covenant of the development that we had the neighbors here, right? Who owned that property?
we
and-
had the neighbors straddling where the street would come out.
Right.
They were not for it. And,
Well, it depends on who owns the right-of-way.
yeah.
If the right-of-way is,
That's another
is
issue.
there,
That's
yeah.
another issue.
So right now, this potential Form A lot has a frontage on a paved roadway, correct?
Yes.
So we just have to see whether this
Right.
subdivision plan really overlay with the open space and see if it is, the open space is in there or not, number one. Whether it's buildable or not is really not relative. So I suggest we hold off.
So he
and
could
look
make
at-
the A&R lot and then just not,
The A&R
build on
lot
it.
means that it means all the dimensional requirements. It doesn't necessarily mean it's buildable. It could be one big wetland and you still would have an A&R lot, just wouldn't get a building permit. So I,
Well-
question is, so the question is whether or not it's open.
but you
supposed to
may not
open
be able to get
space.
an A&R if it cannot be built there
Right.
because it's not allowed within the subdivision. And I think that's within the.
that's
the-
another stop, yeah. If there's
Yeah.
something in the subdivision controlling the number of lots, then that would be something else.
I don't think Gino would have caught that.
I would have thought. I don't remember exactly where the subdivision ends, but I thought that the subdivision was well within where Turner Street comes up.
Gina will be here probably in the next 15 minutes.
Oh, he will?
Yeah, he's coming.
But on
He's
hold.
gonna be here between.
Well, yeah,
8
the
and 8:30.
subdivision, I would think, this is the back lot, I would think of a subdivision here. These,
Yeah, I think the subdivision goes
it
on
does,
a
it
lot
does,
further.
it does. You gotta live up that way,
Yeah.
so yes, it does.
Where is the Martin property?
We think it's on Turner Street.
It was over here.
Yeah, it might be.
Over there.
Yeah, I think it's up here.
Is that what you think, Ray?
All right,
The Martin's over on this side of Turner here?
Yes.
near the bend, right? there,
Yeah.
right?
So another one to hold off on.
All right. Got to try to remember all these things that we're holding off on.
Well, yeah, really. You wanna read them back to us, Ray?
Yeah, Phillips Way and Turner and Greaves as a hold.
No, I meant the conditions of why we're holding it, and what we're gonna go look at on this one.
I'm gonna start writing them down right now.
We can look at the certificate of approval for the subdivision, see if there's any limits to the number of lots there. That's where it'd be in.
Yeah, it
And
definitely
We
would
can
be.
look at the overlay plan of the open space and see if any of this land is over in the open space, so.
I don't think any of this is open space for the subdivision.
Just follow
Definitely not.
Mr. Martin's
Oh.
letter there. Since he lives there, maybe he knows something.
Well, I would have thought that the Greaves would know where their property was,
Yeah.
not to say, well, I'm just gonna encroach over here and
Hmm.
take a little of this open space.
I don't think, Gino,
But then
did
again,
we
a good
start
part
at
of
8
it-
o'clock, special permit?
Some of the trails over there now have become backyards.
Yeah. Let's see now. I suppose we could,
Do that?
yes. 242 Dedham Street, signage and special permit. Is that what you guys are here for? Yep. Okay, do we have a notice?
Yep, here it is. Next in the queue.
Notice is hereby given in accordance with Mass General Law, Section 40A, and the Norfolk zoning bylaws. Section F9, a public hearing will be held on Tuesday, May 19th, 2015, at 8 p.m. in Room 124 at the Norfolk Town Hall, 1 Liberty Lane, Norfolk, Mass., relative to a special permit application for property located at 242 Dedham Street in Norfolk. The applicant, Dedham Street Realty LLC of East Walpole, Massachusetts, is requesting a special permit to allow 2 freestanding signs with more than 24 square feet in area. The property is located in the C1 zoning district. Reference Assessors Map 18, Block 69, Lot 31. The plan and application are available for public inspection in the office of the Norfolk Planning Board.
Okay. You want to introduce yourself for the public?
John Prempus?
All right.
Bill Glowopoulos.
Who's giving the presentation?
I guess I'll. So we emailed over to Betsy. We're looking to get a 24 square foot Dunkin' sign on both of our pylons, and you should have attached what we're looking to get from our sign distributor. We had mentioned this, I guess, back in August, but we never formally filed for a special permit. I guess it was in the decision, but we never formally applied for it, so we're here to apply for it.
This is the one that you're talking about here.
Yes.
So it's a multi-sign. It's not just a single sign that's 24 square feet. It's a cumulative 24-foot sign, right?
Yeah, well, we already got approvals for 2 pylons, 100 square feet in total length, and we have one 24 square foot approval right now on each pylon. So we're looking to get 2 on each.
Oh,
So I get, the original application, if I may jump in, was for the Gulf sign that you see here.
mhm.
So one sign that size, but what they'd like to do is another sign the same size, rather than have the smaller Dunkin' sign. They wanted to go with a larger Dunkin' sign.
So
And that's the only change from what was approved before.
So the
Looking
Duncan
for-
was there, but it was smaller before?
Yes.
It was 12 feet, like
This
all.
sign here, was this approved already? main
Yeah, the
sign?
entire sign was approved already, so this would be a modification of their sign approval, to add a second 24 square foot sign. Otherwise, they could do 12 square foot signs, up to 100 square
So are
feet.
we talking about the canopy here too, or just the?
Well, we're gonna,
We're gonna
right
add,
We have.
yeah, we'll do that after the public hearing.
Okay, so
The-
it's
the-
not part of this public hearing.
It's
then,
not part of the
sorry.
public hearing.
right.
Okay,
Okay.
so the Gulf emblem is the 24 square foot.
Which,
Currently,
that's
yes.
already
Yeah,
approved.
that's been approved.
And then below that, you've got the 2 pricing signs, right? And they're part of the agreement we've already agreed with?
Yep.
or is that,
And they only asked for one 24 square foot sign in their application previously. What they figured out was that they needed 2 24 square foot signs in order to accommodate the vendors that were in the building.
Well, they need more than that. I mean, the 2 pricing signs are not counted in the 24. You just got the Gulf symbol and the Dunkin' Donuts sign. The pricing signs aren't included in those 48 square feet.
The pricing signs are considered separate signs, so those are 2 12 square foot signs.
So everything.
Okay,
yeah.
and the Subway and the Dedham Savings and the blank are also separate as well.
Separate 12 square foot
And at the
signs.
moment, you're not
Doesn't
asking
it add
for
up to
those?
more than 100?
Nope, it's 96.
Oh, yeah?
So we're approving the signs, everything except the initial top golf sign at the
That's
top.
just,
Everything else is
that's
on?
really what you're asking for. Everything except the golf, which is already approved, right?
No, he's just asking for the Dunkin' Donuts sign
Well, I'm asking
to be
him.
approved.
Yeah, just the Dunkin' sign.
But it's 96 plus the blank panel.
Right, so we're
So
taking,
it's-
we're taking away that blank
That
panel.
blank panel's gonna be
Fair enough.
gone.
But
Yeah.
So so right now we have a golf, which is 24. We have the 2 price signs, so that's 40 acres, 12 each. We have a Dunkin', so that's 12, that's 60. Subway, 72. The bank, 84. And then we have another 12, which is 96.
Yeah, but you're asking to make the Dunkin'
Yeah,
now
the
another,
Dunkin' you want
another
24.
Right.
So you'd
So
make
add
from
another
96 to 108.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you do 24, two 24s,
Yep.
48, plus the 2 price signs, that's 72,
Mm-hmm.
plus 12 for the Subway, and then 12 for the bank. Yeah, so we're eliminating that.
Right, so the blank one has to go.
okay,
There's some confusion.
I mean, I think we're leaving the blank one just if we want to have a 4 square
Yeah,
foot sign.
sure.
We're leaving it.
Sure.
Yeah, so we're leaving it blank.
yeah, all right. So you want everything except for the golf, which is already approved? Yeah, okay, gotcha.
108 square feet.
Right.
108.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Well, my calculator?
That cannot be left at its
4 times 4.
12 square foot size. It has to be reduced
To be the 100.
36,
to the 100, yeah.
85.
The blank one has to go.
Just kind of silly.
The blank one has to go.
It
Yeah.
has
I
to
was-
go.
Yeah. Unless they want to make it teensy weensy.
Probably not.
4.
John, where's the sign being placed, between the 2 egresses?
Should be on the plan.
Yeah, we don't have the plan.
Oh, I can grab the plan.
It's already been approved.
Yeah,
This is really just a modification. Why are we having a full hearing on this if it was just a modification? Right. Well, maybe we would have decided that it
It's a
had to be
major one.
yeah, it's a major modification.
Is this
Kind of
two-sided
first.
or one-sided? Two-sided, okay.
And there's just one of these pylon structures on the site. So this happens in 2 locations.
They're not both on 1A. Isn't one on the side?
Yeah, one's on Sharon Ave.
Yeah,
On Sharon Ave, okay.
because you have 2 entrances, so you're allowed
Yeah.
2 signs. That's what it is. Well, does anyone have any real objection to having the larger sign there?
I don't.
Well, I don't, as long as it agrees with the zoning articles that we've got. Because we don't need to be making exceptions if we don't understand that we're making an exception, you know?
It's allowed by special permit.
Does it say that we can on these large? I think it does, but does it say that you can have more than one 24-foot sign in zoning, or is there a restriction to?
It doesn't limit you.
It doesn't limit
No,
you to
it
how many
doesn't.
24-foot signs?
No.
F9B1C4.
My only point of clarification is it does look like the blank panel has to go, just to keep it under the 100 square feet.
Because you're not going to be able to put a 4-foot sign in there.
See,
If we could, I mean, if it was something that we could make, you know, whatever else forces
Like a 2x2?
8 square.
A 2x2?
It would have to be 1 foot high.
see 100 square.
Oh, I see, or,
Well, let's say like
8 by
let's say the
1.
gas operator wanted to put something that specified pricing for diesel. Would you be able to do that if we already have the 100 square feet approved?
Except by special permit to maximum 24.
If you already have the 100?
Well, we do.
Yeah, we do.
you already have the diesel in here.
Well,
No,
if we-
well,
I mean, if you want, I think he was mentioning putting diesel, super, and then regular. So if you were to use that, the other 1 foot by whatever it is, 96, whatever that 4 square feet is, or
how wide is it anyway?
8 foot.
we wouldn't go over
I
the
can't read
100
it.
anyways.
It's 8 feet?
Yeah.
So it can only be 6
6
inches high.
Right.
1 free.
6 inches high by 8 feet long. You know, that's a little sign. I think we'd probably just assume,
But what he's saying is if instead of this being only 24, they could make this one 30 inches high. And then incorporate 3 lines instead of just 2 lines into it. And this line might be a little smaller.
we'd have to see it anyway.
Yeah.
But right now, the blank one will just stay blank, but it'll be only, if we were to put it, it wouldn't go over the 100 square feet.
All right, I guess that's the point, is it have to stay within the 100
Yeah, it
square
has to
feet.
stay.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, you can have a little white section down there that's 6 inches
Or it can
tall
move
and-
up, like what he's
Oh,
saying
yeah.
too.
I think the gas guy said he wanted to keep it because, we offer something in our shop. I forget what he wanted to use it for.
EBT pay,
EBT pay.
whatever that is.
It's not like a debit card.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, Michelle, do you have any other questions about it?
That was
Yeah.
my only question.
Well, if I added up, if I did it, my arithmetic right, Gulf, the way it's shown, the Gulf, the 2 pricing signs, the Dunkin' Donut, the Subway, the Dedham, and the blank, that gives you 100 square feet exactly,
Right.
right?
No,
No, it's
this
96.
gives- It goes 108. We didn't
Gives them
give you that.
96 square feet.
Unless you reduce the size of that one.
This is 24 by 4.
Yeah, it's 96 exactly.
96.
Without the blank, it's 96.
All right, I'll do my arithmetic again.
So it would allow him a 6-inch
We're
sign,
gonna leave
or
the
6
4-inch?
inches to add somewhere in another
4-inch
sign.
blank one at the bottom?
Yeah, or whatever it works out to, average out to 100.
Right, you want this? Or?
Right, Yep.
Well, according to this, the 2 pricing signs are not 1'6", they're 1'3". Is that right?
Are they?
Yep.
With,
The Dedham savings is the same.
Yeah, so,
that comes out a little bit different then.
right, so that's why I say you add it all up, you got what it's shown, the way they've drawn it up, you've got 100 square feet, including the blank. Now, check me out. Somebody else do the arithmetic and confirm
There's a
that.
little, here's one that's a little larger. Is it easier to?
Oh,
read?
it's much easier than
Yeah, I'm
Ray, you
sorry.
do.
I don't
I
know
can't
why.
even read
No,
this.
you
Yeah,
guys,
I'm
one of you
sorry, I
guys
don't
do
know why I
that
didn't
and tell
put
me
it like
that I'm right or wrong.
Which one do you want to be?
Yes.
Well, I'm getting the same answer.
Oh, yeah, see, I didn't know that those were 1'3"
Yeah, fair enough.
instead of 1'6".
Yeah, okay,
Makes
fair.
a difference.
Yeah, it does. 6 inches.
Yeah.
Okay, so,
That might have been a typo, we might make them all 12 square feet.
fair enough.
Oh,
Yeah.
They should be all 12. That's what they should be. So.
Well,
so if they're
whatever
all
co-
12 square feet, then it
yeah,
adds up to
right,
108.
whatever combination you want, you're looking for 100 square feet.
Yep.
Right.
Okay,
That's just-
now it's clear.
But more importantly, we're looking for a 24 square foot Dunkin' sign. That's the most important reason why we're here tonight.
Tried to
Don't worry
talk
about the rest of them.
So that's allowed by special permit. You looked it up, it's definitely there, yeah. So if you're allowed by special permit, and it doesn't sound like there's any objection, I haven't heard any objection from the board, so I guess we'll just,
Into the-
you know what the decision's gonna say, and it's gonna say that it doesn't go beyond the 100 square feet, right?
There's probably some
Right.
folks
Yeah,
here that
probably.
wanna have something to
Yeah.
say.
Do we have any comments from the public?
Elizabeth Whitney, 26 Valley Street.
Mhm.
So I do understand this, but tonight, so far, you have not addressed the canopy? Just
No.
these freestanding
No, we have not.
on
That's not part of
pylons?
this hearing.
Not part of it, okay. So, fine,
Okay,
they're fine too.
All right, close the hearing.
hold on. Someone want to,
I am gonna move that we close the public hearing for 242 Dedham Street special permit application for the 24 square foot sign.
second?
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, you wanted to discuss the canopy also? Oh, where is the microphone? That was-
Right,
So-
signs there.
Yep, go right ahead.
So I know I know last time we met, there was some objection to the cloud that was on the canopy. So we spoke with our gas tenants. We also spoke with Gulf, and I sent Betsy over a rendering today of what they would like to do. Essentially, it's just so the canopy's already up, as if you've driven by, you can see, and they're just looking to put more or less a blue border all the way around, and then just the Gulf logo, which I think we got approved at the last meeting. I think the biggest hurdle was the cloud, so we removed the cloud
Yeah.
and.
The cloud and the orange. Originally, it was an orange stripe.
Yep.
which
So I
they
think
didn't like.
that's gone too. It's just blue.
Yeah, we had no objection to the orange stripe.
Right, I don't think the
remember, yeah.
DR
Some people did.
Well, maybe,
I
yeah.
think the DRB had a problem with the orange stripe on the clouds.
Did they?
I think the clouds were blue. The foghorn.
Yep.
So the entire height of the band of the canopy is blue in its entirety, is that correct? It's hard to tell from this rendering.
Let me get some bigger printouts of this. This
I mean, it's not that it's big or
Haven't
small,
read
it's just,
it.
it's
Sorry, I
it's
can't
just,
print in color.
So,
bigger.
to my understanding, it's just the entire border around.
So this is the whole height of the canopy, there's 4 feet, 10 inches? Or is it a little bit less because the sign protrudes, the Gulf
it looks like the
insignia
Gulf
protrudes
is
over
what's,
it?
yeah, the Gulf is 4'10".
Right.
The second page of this, it shows you 36 for the canopy.
Yeah, 3 feet for the blue. 1 foot 10 inches is what the Gulf sign sticks up above it.
Yep. Right.
Yeah, this is kind of, on this
Oh,
one too.
there's the color. Oh, okay, that's
Yeah.
what I was,
And it's gonna be 10 feet long?
I was looking for that.
Did you want this, Mr. Chairman?
Ah, there
They
are.
have it.
I had
Looks
it,
like it's
I just
19
didn't,
foot
I
6
just
inches.
didn't come across it.
There's the whole,
And this is 10 feet, just the
So
blue?
all this is blue,
Yep,
So the whole thing
all
is...
this is blue.
yep. Anyone have any other questions about this one? Before the,
So the sign is 18 and a half feet or so long?
About 7 feet long,
About, let's see.
7 feet.
What's on page 3 then?
Which one are you looking at, John? Yeah. So just the sign or the canopy? Because the sign is only 7 feet.
Okay, so this extra blue is just the rest
That's
of the
canopy.
that's the rest of the
Yeah.
canopy.
So the whole canopy's gonna be blue?
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
All, on all 4 sides? Much better.
all right,
The
is it?
sunrise logo. How many square feet is that?
7 by,
It's just, oh, that's right, you can't calculate the circle, it has to be calculated as a rectangle.
Oh,
On
really?
the outside
so
edges,
it's
yeah.
approximately 7 by 5, about 35, a little bit less. A little bit less.
Did you have a special permit hearing for the size of the sign? Is it, because it's
For-
larger than 24 square feet?
I don't think so.
It's 6'11" by 4'10". I did 7 by 5 and got 35. Let me do 6'10" by 4.
I think they made it with whatever the standard Gulf logo size is for all Gulf
Yeah.
gas stations.
But the way we don't calculate circles using pi r square and all that for area. We calculate it with the box drawn around the circle, so it,
It's 33
so
square
it,
feet.
so you're allowed 24 square feet by right. Turns out it's 33. So unfortunately,
It's another,
it's a special permit to get something larger than the 24 square feet. So they may have it may have been calculated using the calculation for a circle. I'm not sure. I haven't done it.
Yeah, I don't, we just got this today, so I'm not
Oh,
too
okay.
sure. So, what's been approved? So, everything but the cloud, right?
I don't know whether the sign at all had been approved. Had it? Betsy, what's been approved on this so far?
I don't know, Steve.
I don't think anything of the canopy was approved.
Yeah, I don't think that the sign, I think that we told you what we liked and didn't like, but I don't think that we actually have an approval that we voted on.
Because unfortunately, this is considered a whole additional sign
Yeah, I don't
to
think it
your
was
signing
originally addressed as a
strategy.
sign.
Yeah.
I think you addressed it as a canopy when we originally looked at it, and there happened to be a sign on the canopy on
Yeah.
each corner of
I
the
don't,
canopy.
I don't know that it was this.
But we didn't have the
Separate.
dimensions of the sign. I don't think we had the dimensions of the sign.
I think you had something. I remember seeing that circle thing that they had.
How many places on the canopy would this Gulf logo appear? Just on the front, you think?
The drawings lead you to believe. Yeah,
Yep,
the
okay.
drawings lead you to believe it's just one, but
From what, the one in Fox was just one.
This one on the front.
Usually on the front right.
We need a special permit for the canopy sign.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Oh, here it is.
Turns out to be a little bit larger than you anticipated.
7 square feet. So you've got a
It's on the approved site plan.
24-inch high sign on the front, the long portion of it, at 27 square feet. And then along the side, you have an 18-inch high sign, and it doesn't tell us what the square feet is, but 18 inches on the side.
On both sides?
I would assume, yeah, it says the end view, so
This same sign here?
it's similar, yeah.
On the
It's not as
canopy?
pretty as that one,
On the canopy or the building?
on the
It's on
canopy.
the canopy.
Oh,
So it's in the center of the canopy.
Yeah.
I don't really remember it. Oh, okay. The end view, that faces the other roadway, right? The
Yeah.
other- Because I think you're allowed a building sign, if your building faces two roads, you can have a building sign
Okay,
on
okay.
each, facing each roadway. I think that's what the zoning says, doesn't it?
Mhm.
Okay, well, we'll make sure that we're clear on that when we have the hearing for the sign on the logo, on the canopy. Okay.
What's approved on that plan?
This is, like I said, the 24 square foot
Golf
sign,
logo?
and 24 inches high.
Does it say Gulf logo, or does it say?
It says
No, it
Golf.
says
It
golf.
says Gulf, okay. all
Yeah,
right.
it's not as pretty as that one, like I said.
Fair enough,
So
okay.
right now, that's approved
That's
on,
so
on
they can put
both-
that up
both
tomorrow.
roadways?
That's what was approved, yeah.
It just has the Gulf signs on it. But
Can we
there's,
see?
Yeah.
but they're smaller than those.
it's within the, is it within the 24 square feet or it's 27?
Yeah, we'll just have them do that.
We'll have them do that then.
We'll have them do that size.
He's not gonna get that,
Oh, wait a minute, this says 24-inch high lettering, not 24-inch high sign.
Sign is 27 square feet.
Yeah.
Lettering is 24 feet, 24
inches.
inches high.
And this definitely has to be facing the other roadway.
Right.
Yep. Yep, that'll all be blue. Okay.
Just have you what's approved then.
Yeah.
So it's essentially the only thing we're omitting is the cloud and the orange.
And the
Yeah.
orange stripe.
And the rest of the canopy.
And it won't be that 33 square feet, it'll be that showing on that.
Yeah, whatever we approve, we have to deal with.
Can they put them in with formal application, or does this count?
Well, they've already got that's already approved.
But where we
So
didn't,
they're just gonna
but where we
do-
didn't approve the canopy band
What canopy band?
with the cloud.
Oh, no, that's not on the drawings. That's
Right,
not.
but so to approve it, what do we have to do?
Well, we are going to have to clarify the signage, that it doesn't have, and we'll do that with a memo, because we're not going to open this up just to to add that. But we are gonna have a memo that says that the cloud imagery is not going to be on the canopy. And we're going to, and we really haven't had a hearing on this. We really should open up some sort of a hearing to be able to make a decision on this.
I think at the
Color
last
and
meeting that you had, you left it with, come back to us and tell us if you want the cloud. And I think, if I recall correctly,
Oh, I
John's
think that you
comment
said,
was,
come back to us without the cloud. I
Right.
think that's what we may have
and I
said.
think Mr. Primpus asked, what if I come back with the cloud? And John had a comment,
You can disallow it.
in John's form, he said, then we won't approve it.
Yeah,
I never trust you to go search out the information, John.
yeah.
So-
Okay, if that's,
That's my
we
recollection
officially
of it.
left it open like that.
You left that one question on the table to answer.
Okay, good. Glad you remembered that. So the way that we're gonna state it, and we will do it, we will do it with a memo, we'll do it in writing, that we will allow the blue color, the blue plain colored canopy, as presented to us on May 19th in such and such a document, along with the approved sign from, the Gulf sign from the original site plan.
The post's gonna be blue or white? Blue, the whole thing,
The verticals?
The vertical posts? Is that what you're asking?
yeah, where the,
Which sign are you talking about? The canopy or the?
canopy.
Canopy.
It's gonna be
Any
blue.
comments from the public?
Elizabeth Whitney, 26 Valley Street. Personally, I really am very happy with the blue canopy, all of it. And there will be a sign on the front and either end, correct?
Just one end. They're allowed,
Not Sharon Ave. Okay.
Sharon Ave is the side that they're allowed, because they're allowed two signs,
Okay.
one for each road if it's located on a corner.
Okay, good enough. Thank you very much, John. I'm quite happy with that. Which is, I think. So, will this end the hearing? There won't be another hearing?
There will not be another
That's
hearing on
good,
this.
that's great. Because I know, it would be good to get. So, thank you.
Can I ask a question?
Another question?
Betsy,
Who wants to take that home?
it's your own personal mic.
Grease them too, right?
Yeah, Betsy took one home, I think.
Is that Betsy?
I'm not sure that the golf operator, where he wants to put those two signs, if they put it on each end, would that be allowed also, instead of putting it?
Not by zoning. Zoning only allows two signs if you're on two roads. If it's a corner lot, you're allowed one sign for each road,
Facing the road.
facing the road.
So basically, if I'm driving down, it can't be one here and one on the other side. Because when they're driving down Dedham Street, they're gonna see it, but they won't see it if it's, I mean, I'm not sure how they wanna do it, but if it's on
Well,
the face,
Yeah, but you got these guys too.
okay.
And they're facing, the street's coming
Right,
this way.
right, okay. I'm just not sure how they were planning their canopy, 'cause they might have already planned their canopy to be on the ends instead of one on the end and one in the front. 'Cause
Well, that's the way our zoning allows
Okay,
it. is
all right.
one. Well, one is larger than the other, so they've got it designed for, in, our decision says that one is on the front and one is on the side.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, thank you.
Yeah, make sure it's clear with them that they have to have it
I-
facing that other road,
Do you want to
because
go over those other issues?
you'll be over there calling them up saying, you gotta move that
Those other
sign.
issues real quick.
All
Can I
right?
just add a final comment?
Yes.
I can be heard,
Like,
so.
no,
I may
not at home,
have
you
to
can't.
use that record thing.
Actually, yes,
Elizabeth Whitney, 26 Valley Street, Pondville. I do think it's a wonderful opportunity for Gulf to realize that gas can be sold without clouds and without orange stripes. Aesthetics are important, and I think you're gonna sell lots of gas, and one of the customers you will have is me. And being rather vociferous, as you know I am, I will tell friends in Pondville to frequent. Your building is beautiful. It looks wonderful. And as I say, when corporate sees that you can sell without clouds and without orange stripes, but I love orange, Michelle, I think that's a good thing. That's a learning curve. So that's my speech.
All we had them get rid of, they're talking about a grading problem there, but. John, do you
I'm
want
gonna
to,
bring that up.
you want to go over those two little items that we met with the builder on the grading on the side where the wall was removed and getting rid of that little finger in the parking in the front?
Yeah, we got, yeah.
Right, just show it to the rest of the board what your builder is.
Site plan?
Oh, I folded it up.
Told you not to do that.
We agreed to get rid of the landing strips, right?
The landing strips?
Little straight.
What do you got?
Like a landing strip, you got a
6 parking
airport there?
lots,
Yeah.
and there was a little finger between the three on either side.
Island?
Making the spots too tight, we wanted to get rid of the figure.
Get rid of that guy, yeah.
This guy here.
What was it there for?
Right,
God knows.
We don't know, I don't know.
Okay, that was one.
That
What's
was,
the other?
if I can hold it up,
Yeah.
just point it.
The other
Am I
one's
holding
the
that side,
grading
please?
on the right
And I
side.
can have free hand. Thank you. The parking area, there was a landscaping strip in the center.
Oh, that was a landscaping, they had stuff planted in.
There was some plantings there. You guys can tell why it.
It's just, well, the spaces are tighter and then just for plowing would be just a nightmare. So we
It's landscaped on either side
yeah.
in the center.
And then whatever landscape wasn't there, we're just gonna add in front there so it goes up.
and then the other issue was the sidewalk prep on the side there.
On this side
I
here.
guess they were having trouble with the grading.
Right.
It was steep, it was pretty steep.
So what's the solution?
Yeah, so what's the solution?
Well, they wanted to get rid of the sidewalk, and I suggested to the builder that they rough grade that with the sidewalk prepped, and then let Ray or somebody go take a look at it to see if the grading really is that bad.
Yep.
If the grading is steep but not overwhelming, you can always put a riprap in there or something just to hold it rather than talk about grass seed
Well, you're
not
not
staying there.
constructing the sidewalk, is that correct? Or are you? No.
It talks about a gravel base, does it?
Yeah, well,
It's a gravel
there's
base.
two different sidewalk issues. One was
Side.
along this strip here and along here. And that was for the future to put a gravel base. That was by request of the DPW director. On this sidewalk, I'm not sure what the impetus was to put that sidewalk in, other than to get people.
I think,
onto
I
the
Right,
think
because
it,
there's no sidewalk across the front, so if people were going there, they
Right.
wanted them entering at the corner and not walking down the driveway.
Okay.
That's what the rationale for that.
Wasn't that sidewalk there when we were trying to connect the two properties? Then we had the
That was-
access road
This was
eliminated.
a negotiation after we decided
Ah.
not to put the stairway or whatever it was that was going to link the two parcels.
So what you're saying is the sidewalk on the side should stay?
Yeah, it should stay because we wanted to keep people off the
Yeah,
driveways.
so you should probably just have the builder grade that, see what it looks like, and maybe we can put something in lower grass there so it doesn't run off.
I think that's what, I mean, I think that's what it is.
That's what he's gonna do, it. Yeah.
Because we figured that if there's pedestrian traffic, most of the pedestrian traffic would be coming from the lower direction. What was the other, was that it? Just those the two things?
One more.
We did have one more thing.
There was a reason for that landscaping thing and the thing in the middle. I can't remember what further back.
I don't know. I see it. Probably just DRB probably.
No, but reflecting on this winter and the amount of snow, I can see where it would just get trashed from
It would get
plowing,
ruined,
you
yeah.
know? And
Yeah.
I'd rather have more planting out in
Agreed,
the front.
agreed.
So we had one other thing we wanted to talk about. The proposed plan shows the light poles for the parking lot lighting as 70-watt high-pressure sodium lighting. everybody's going to LED now, and what we're proposing is to do the same wattage with LED lighting, and just wanted your okay with that.
Well, the same brightness, not the same wattage.
That would be foot
because
candles.
we'd be
Yeah, foot candle, yeah.
blinded.
Oh, yeah,
at the
yeah,
same-
yeah, yeah.
Right.
We don't want anybody swearing off the
I don't think we can
Yeah.
dictate if it's LED.
Yeah.
Larson do it.
Well,
We just dictate
w-
what
Well,
candles.
as long as we review everything. Everything has to be reviewed and approved. So you just have to give us a detail of
So
what
I
you're
do.
planning on putting in.
I have the original proposed lamp, and then the second page is, I believe, I wish I had my reading glasses on, I think it's a 68 watt LED, which, it's very, very close to the foot candles as what the sodium did.
Oh, okay. So could you give that to our,
Sure.
Yeah, Bill and I had talked about this.
Thanks, Bill.
My suggestion to him was, let's do the foot candle mapping, showing what the approved plan
Oh, that's
had.
not in there?
And
It's
he
not-
did.
That's not, oh, it is.
He did.
Oh, okay.
The approved plan didn't have a foot candle map. So he did that, and then he also did the LED and just matched it up. So if he needed to do some shielding, he said he would do the shielding to make it work.
Now, where was the shielding the most important, facing back towards Sharon Ave? Is that,
Actually, it was Hugo's, to the property to the right of it
oh,
and in the back. Just because the way that they had to put the light posts, they had a little bit of spillover onto that property.
oh, okay. So we'll take a look at that and we'll probably just say, yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Now, has
Yeah. Just for you, just
any,
just for you, Gino.
Way, has anyone shown up for 5 Phillips Way? No. So let's close 5 Phillips Way.
No, continue it.
Continue.
I mean,
close it.
well, yeah, continue it.
Okay, give me a
When are we
minute.
gonna continue it to, Betsy? Did they haven't contacted you at all?
No, we didn't hear from him today.
I heard from the engineer, he did say he had a family emergency, he wasn't gonna be able to make it, but he said the applicant would be here.
Okay, I move to continue the public hearing for the site plan application for 5 Phillips Way to,
I've got the next meeting of June 16th, but that's negotiable.
okay. And what time?
We'll do 7:30?
7:30, okay.
Let's make it the 7:45, just in
Okay.
case something
Yeah, all right, fair
comes
enough.
up that,
Okay.
do we have a second on that?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye. Check the 16th, June.
I got nothing.
Before the kids get out of school.
All right.
When do your kids get out of school?
Are we all caught up now? And, well, we're only a half hour behind. 20 Valley Street.
Notice is hereby given in accordance with Mass General Laws, Section 40A and the Norfolk zoning bylaws, Section F11. A public hearing will be held on Tuesday, May 19th, 2015, at 8:15, room 124, Norfolk Town Hall, 1 Liberty Lane, Norfolk, Mass, relative to a site plan application for property located at 20 Valley Street, Norfolk, Mass. The applicant, Al Quiglieri of Walpole, Mass, is proposing construction of 4 single-family duplex-style dwellings with associated utilities, grading, and parking. The applicant is also requesting a special permit to allow a planned multi-lot development in accordance with Section I of the Norfolk zoning bylaws. The property is located in the C1 zoning district. Reference Assessor's Map 26, Block 81, Lot 3. Plan and application available for public inspection in the office of the Norfolk Planning Board.
Okay, if you want to identify yourself for the people at home.
Good evening, Jamie Bissonette from Prime Engineering for the record.
Let me flip
All right, exactly as you've just heard, we're before you tonight for a special permit for a PMLD on Valley Street at number 20. The project's located pretty close to the Dedham Valley Street corner on the westerly side of Valley Street. And I didn't hear if any of the additional waivers that we have requested were read in, but if not, I can go over those with you. We've asked for a waiver requiring existing buildings shown on adjacent tracks within 100 feet, a waiver requiring street lighting, a waiver requiring stormwater drainage designed to 25 and 100-year storm, and waivers from section 4 and 5 because we're not constructing a roadway. All right. With that out of the way, what we have is a 10-acre plus or minus parcel, like I said, on the westerly side of Valley Street. And I know that Al has been in front of the board and spoken with planner, and we've been in front of conservation, and all signs pointed to the PMLD being utilized here. What we've come up with is 4 duplex units sitting on the lot. These 4 units,
Could you turn that just a little bit more?
sure.
I don't think you can see it at all. Yeah.
Is that better?
I've got copies of the site plan. Do you want me to grab some for you?
That might be a little bit more helpful, yeah.
Okay. They're 1-bedroom units, so there will be 4 total bedrooms. They're ranch style, but they kind of have a cape style look to the dwelling. Each one has a 1-car garage with capacity for 2 additional off-street parking spaces in front. It's going to be serviced by municipal water. DPW has asked for us to revise our plan from having the water service in the back to connecting to the main and Valley Street. So we'll have water coming in to the front. We have our septic tanks proposed in the front, going to a system for all 4 units over here. As part of our design, we're infiltrating the roofs up to the 2-year and including the 2-year storm. Everything beyond that overflows and goes over the grass, which I think is in reasonable accordance with your regulations. We've provided some mitigation on site, and when we did so, we were utilizing a lot of the planning board required street trees, pin oak and red maple. Since the initial review by Beta and by the former planner, we've also added a couple additional street trees and kind of flip-flopped our high bush blueberries with another shrub over here to increase site visibility for oncoming traffic and getting out of the driveways. In all, there's not a tremendous amount to talk about on the site. It's really 4 1-bedroom units and 2 duplex styles, similar to a Form A plan. We've added, since the original filing, we have added in trench drains in the driveway and brought those over to grass swales for discharged on both sides to keep the water out of Valley Street itself. I'm more than happy to entertain any questions that you may have.
As a catch-up question for my own guys here, how did we end up with, we've got 1 lot and it's a PMLD. I don't quite understand that, so just help educate me.
Sure. Would you like for me to, or?
Whatever, give me, sure. Give me.
What we have is, I believe we have a Form A plan that was turned in. I believe it's probably that Mylar right there, but I'm not positive. We turned, yes. And what we're looking to do is, if the special permit's granted, we're looking to Form A out this piece to go along with that special permit for that 80,000+ square foot requirement.
It's my own ignorance, but that doesn't help me because we've got 1 lot and we're talking about a planned multi-lot development. I don't understand.
What was the reason you put the Lot 2 section in there?
I'm sorry.
Broke the lot up into two lots, lot 1 and 2.
Sure.
Why don't you tell Walter, I think he's looking for the reason why you separated that into two lots.
Oh, you got two lots, not one, all
We
right.
do. We
I
have,
understand why.
Was that for the PMLD requirements?
well, the PMLD requires at least 80,000 square feet.
Yeah.
So we did the subdivision for the 80,000 square foot minimum here. We do have the multi-lot, but our interpretation on the PMLD wasn't that you had to subdivide each one into individual lots. You had to show that you could in the intent. So we meet all of the residential requirements square footage-wise, setbacks-wise, and everything else. So this ends up yielding what we feel is the most favorable layout.
And what's the intention for the future for Lot 2?
Actually, I don't think there is a clear intention right now, is there, Al? I mean, the majority of it's resource area,
Yeah.
you know?
So I think normally we would see sort of that sequence of thought process presented to us where we would see the traditional lot layouts that then prove that the PMLD is sort of the best choice. And so I think that's the one piece that's sort of missing, is sort of jumping to the conclusion without sort of, and I'm sure you did it and thought through
Sure.
it, but it just takes us a little bit longer to
Oh, no,
get
full-
up to speed and understand
Yep,
the logic of the sequence.
fully understand, yes.
You know, for buildable lot, what percentage has to be upland on the lot for zoning?
60%.
So lot 2, by that nature, wouldn't be developable anywhere because it doesn't have 60% upland on it, correct?
No, I do not believe it has 60% upland on it as itself. I mean, there are uplands in other places on the site.
So maybe you could talk through some of the reasons why you think this is advantageous to a more traditional, lots or 4 lots or?
I think it's the overall disturbance on the site. Obviously, we know that this is a somewhat valuable resource regarding wetland area, forest area, et cetera. So we're trying to minimize the overall spread of the footprint.
This project was brought before the board some months ago, in very preliminary fashion. And at that time, there were 6 units, as I recall, not 4. What happened, Al? Why did it change?
I couldn't fit the septic system in for that many units
Right.
and keep the 50-foot setback. Another reason for the PMLD, well, another reason for the PMLD is that the benefit of the setback is allowed at 28 feet, or up to 50, as little as 15 instead of the C-140,
Yeah.
40-foot setback. So with the resource area directly behind these units and the 50-foot no disturb, really the only way to get the units in would be to take advantage of the PMLD and use a lesser of the setback of 28 feet instead of the 40 feet.
Are you all done with your questions, Michelle?
I think so. I'm just trying to read through some of the engineering comments too, so it might be helpful to get their input at some point.
We should hear what the engineering comments are, as a matter of fact. That way we won't miss anything.
From an engineering perspective, I actually didn't have that many comments. Was interested in the grading around the septic system, the size of the wall proposed. Gentleman already addressed one of our concerns, which was the location. The original plan had some some shrubs planted in the sight line for the driveways. It appears he's addressed that issue. Another comment was the drainage coming out to Valley Street, which has no closed drainage system, and the issue there. He's addressed that with his trench drains. And the only other thing I think I see that hasn't been specifically addressed is we had just wanted to ensure that the discharges from his foundation drains were, he had noted some erosion control. We just wanted to confirm the stone size to make sure he was, had something that was reasonable.
Well,
I don't expect a lot of flow from those, so I don't think it's an issue, but
is it going
housekeeping.
Is it going into the ground or is it going, be surface distance?
The foundation drain?
The- I was looking at the roof. Are you talking about the roof drain?
The roof is infiltrated.
Yeah.
There's a foundation drain that's shown in daylighting near adjacent to the wetland buffer.
Oh,
I don't expect there's a lot of flow from that. We just wanted to make sure it was,
Yeah, we've designed the foundations to be out of the groundwater, but it's just a great engineering practice to have a fail-safe. And this is a very inexpensive fail-safe. I would typically spec out 6-inch minus riprap for something like that. As your engineer said, we expect little to no flow.
and as far as the setbacks and things, I was in receipt of Gino's review before I completed mine, so
Oh.
I didn't feel the need to repeat.
How about you, Gino? Did you have comments?
I did, and they virtually all were addressed. One question I do have, though, is on the erosion control plan, which they have updated since I reviewed it initially. But I just haven't seen, it says we have added erosion protection and updated our erosion control plan, but I haven't seen, I'm not sure what those improvements were. I think I was mainly concerned about a construction entrance, because it's so tight where the buildings are and such. I'm not sure how that would be addressed.
Sure. Well, first, on the erosion part itself, what we've done is, on the erosion control plan, we've added in large letters where we're going to actually stop the silt sock, and we're going to start silt fence. Silt fence is much easier to move to allow entrance in and off of the site as opposed to silt sock. And that runs all the way along. It encompasses the entire work area. So we will have something surrounding the entire area of disturbance. As far as the construction entrance, go back 2 plans. I tried keeping it at minimum amount of sheets as I could. We've added a few details: silt fence for the front, and also an anti-tracking pad, which we use for commercial sites mostly. But I understand the need for it here, and we've added it on. Basically, we're saying it needs to be a minimum of 20 feet coming in for construction entrance. That should be suitable for any trucks that are coming on site to be able to stay on that area. We don't expect there to be much mud. It's a pretty sandy site. And we're limited to the high portion of the site for construction work. But this should handle what we need to do.
Okay. As I said, everything else I had was, no, there was one more, on waste removal. You're proposing municipal curbside pickup. Is that, I'm not sure if that's available, is it available? Or is it private? Is it private?
private,
yeah.
Okay.
It's available through private
Yeah, so
subscription.
that's what we would take advantage of, is hiring some kind of a private
Okay.
entity.
Now, on your landscaping plan, I mean, why aren't you putting in street trees? What is it, street trees are supposed to be, what, every 35 feet, is that what it is?
Sure, and to keep the plans from getting too cluttered, I kind of broke them apart with layout, with landscaping and then grading. We place these, on the computer at my office, I can see all the different layers between grading, septic tank, water, electric. If you were able to flip to the next page and look at how busy the site already is because of infrastructure. We have drainage lines running here, septic tanks with pipes running underneath, the pump chambers, underground electric, which is required. There's very little room to put these trees, and so we put them where we could fit them.
Well, I think you should try to accommodate some street trees. I don't want to have a complete bare spot along the roadway there.
Okay?
You're gonna have to accommodate street trees.
And you want them every 30 feet?
Well, whatever the zoning requires, I think it's every 35.
35.
Yeah.
What's the frontage?
We have. Somewhere around 350.
Close to 10 trees, 8, 9, 10, something like that, yeah.
Well, they had one tree.
We have 3.
Three, they have three.
These aren't in the right of way.
You actually,
Right.
well,
We have street trees in the right of way.
yeah, the right-of-way doesn't have any, the pavement comes right up to,
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, get them as close as you can. Get them out where where it would be reasonable.
now, the engineer's concerns were site visibility.
Yeah, the driveway's on a curve. We wanted to be able to preserve a site shelf.
Well,
We had taller
So
plans.
they
whatever-
can plan around it, yep.
Yep.
Make sure you
So
don't
what
have a
you're
tree with low branches, make sure.
Yeah, what you're asking is the cooperative effort to locate those trees.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. You don't want to have a big bare spot along a roadway,
Right.
just because they
Would-
put in some new houses.
Would the board be amenable to the same number of trees, but clustered in areas that made sense? When I say clustered, not tight so they're gonna choke themselves out, but maybe a group of three, and then a space, you know, for site visibility.
I mean,
also.
if something is out of, you know, like, a design perspective, it looks better or something like that, maybe. I mean, it depends on what the board comes up with, but but we like our street trees here.
Sure, yeah.
So we want to make sure that that all streets get the same treatment as far as what they get for landscaping along the roadways.
Okay.
If you come up with something creative, I don't know how you're going to come up with something really creative. that's gonna-
It's, yeah, I'm gonna have to talk to one of our landscape architects.
John, all set?
I like those trees set between the buildings just to break up where the buildings are close. I think that's a good spot for them.
Well, they can put them in there too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We have the issue that we have street trees, what's that, every 35 feet? And I think there's one place in the regulations that have it 40 or 45.
right.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, when you look at the street tree list, the average size canopy of one of these street trees is 45 feet minimum. So when you get street trees at 35 feet and you get a 45-foot canopy, in 15 years, these things are
Well,
all...
remember that they're 20 feet on either side, so that they actually just touch each other. 35 feet apart, and they grow.
Actually, at 35 feet, they don't.
Oh,
Because you've got canopies, a minimum of 45 feet. Some of them are 65 feet with the maples and that. So long-term, they're all going to intersect and hinder the growth. That's why just spacing it a little bit back like that, I think would,
But do you think that we should change the spacing of the street trees and increase it to like 40 feet or something like that?
definitely, because it doesn't make any sense. Because
might be something
long-term,
for us to
yeah,
bring
because
up, yeah.
long-term, they intersect and they won't grow.
Yeah. But as it stands now, it's 35 feet, so.
But if you could add a few more, I think the spacing between those buildings, where the buildings are close,
Mhm.
Richard, that it breaks up nicely coming down the street either way. Maybe if you can throw in a few more to help our chairman and the board, you know, strategically placed, I think that would make the buildings not look as close together.
So that, since there's no room in the true right-of-way, there's a
Right.
little bit of flexibility for movement. Just keep it reasonable,
I would think so, yeah.
Yeah, but do keep them out
as close to the
towards the
street as
roadway.
possible.
Yeah.
Sure.
How did,
Noted.
I noticed you pushed those buildings apart somewhat, huh?
We did. We were able to obtain the 30 feet as requested by conservation, as discussed.
Looks nice, it looks much better.
It does.
Yeah, it's
It
good
does. And the
job.
architectural plans actually look really nice as well. We brought that.
Initially, these were 10 feet between each other, the
15.
buildings. 15, sorry.
Yep.
But that looks much nice, very nice.
Very nice point.
Yeah.
Yep. Some different roof lines
Yep.
on the garages. Yes.
I see you
Even-
staggered them, too.
even a
between the-
staggered building
The
here,
footprints in the garages.
Yeah, it's very
Makes it look
nice.
a lot nicer.
Question for Al, just for information, not pertinent to the approval or disapproval, but is your intent to, are these market value homes? Is that the idea?
I was planning on renting.
Renting, okay.
So I assume DRB hasn't seen the plans yet. I'm just curious, are those fake dormers on the roof
Yeah.
lines?
Yeah.
Or just a false dormer?
Fake chimney, false door.
Oh, they're not gonna be
There's
even
no
open
second
to a,
floor.
It's not a second story.
Story unit.
it's not gonna be cathedral with light coming in that window? No? Makes it much nicer.
Nice idea,
apartment.
Steve, yeah. But you're not building it.
Yeah.
You just living room one, but not in the living room.
Maybe we can do it on the living room.
You know, that's a good question.
I think it's true.
What are you thinking, I mean, it's probably will go to DRB, but what are you thinking on the exterior material of your siding, a clapboard or a shingle or a,
Hardy backup makes a barn red brick. And,
in a clapboard style or a shingle
Clapboard.
style?
You mean Pondville red?
that's right.
Yeah.
Rocco Plaza, transit seating, Betsy Whitney.
Do you think it involves chimney too?
That's to break up the roof.
Looks nice.
A little veneer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Won't be able to see them though with all the trees.
Yeah.
Come on now. Takes a long time before you can not see things for trees. They'll all be gone.
8 grams 40, that roof line's gone.
You can
Yeah.
see them in the winter. The leaves fall.
Nice plan, though, looks good.
So what do they have to come back in for? Do you,
Reviewable actions.
is there anything that they
I
have
don't
to come
think they have
back
to
in
come
for?
back for anything, do they?
Is there anything that you see that they have to come back in for, Gigi?
The drainage for the driveways was a great idea, because with the conservation looking also for where that driveway runoff is going, that's a super idea to mitigate that.
Where is that driveway runoff going?
It's going to grassy swale on the side.
There's a grate that goes across the driveway. It picks it up from hitting Valley
Right,
Street.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a trench drain that runs across each driveway, and
Oh, and it's just a swale right from the trench?
Yep,
Oh.
there's a 6-inch pipe that spreads out to a level spreader in the grass swale.
Right, yeah. Good idea.
Yeah, I just don't see anything else that,
I just want to mention the question about design review. This is actually not subject to design review because it's a residential project. They can go if they want to.
okay, I really, there's no lighting that we have to worry about. No roadway. Yeah, I don't see anything else. We could probably close tonight. Want us to close tonight?
Okay.
Okay. Yes, we're going to hear from the public now.
I love the buildings, I really do, and I think it's, the section in the middle, the garage is Elizabeth Whitney, 26 Valley Street. Oh, nice, the button's on. Hello? No.
We have another one?
Usually hit stuff when it doesn't work.
Sometimes that helps.
Banging on my hand.
I don't need a mic. You know, we can put men on the moon, but they never can get these things to work. It's the batteries.
We haven't had a man on the moon in 4 years.
Elizabeth Whitney, 26 Valley Street, Pondville. My husband and I are very happy with the design of the building. I think it fits beautifully in with the neighborhood. My question was the color, and I do like hardy board. I think Al referred to that in the red color. And I think this picks up the theme of transit seating and carries that through. And I just noticed that. I think it sort of ties the neighborhood. Now, I was curious as to whether these were to be cathedral ceilings because the dormers were there.
We just had that conversation.
And I heard that conversation, so I've written down false dormers. But I am just curious. We have a little house in Maine that's 19 feet high, and we did I thought, do I have walls go up? I'm just curious. Is there a ceiling and then just airspace above it, or is it storage?
It's a ceiling.
There's a ceiling, but it's just
Attic.
empty space. Oh, we just turned ours into a loft.
You should understand, Betsy, that the, Al has spent a fair amount of extra money just making this outside look. If these things were ranches with low-pitched roofs, it would be a substantially different project. There's a lot of extra money going into those roof lines and dormers and fake chimneys, and believe me, I think it's...
Oh, yes, and I do
This could be substantially worse and comply with zoning.
Yep, I absolutely appreciate that. I was just curious as to whether they were cathedral ceilings, which has its own set of problems. Jamie, where, or could you show me where the construction entrance?
We're actually, we're gonna probably construct them right in the St. Mary's driveways.
Oh, that would be the in and out. Okay,
Typically, we may end up having to place another one over in this facility for
Okay.
septic.
yeah,
But typically, when you construct a construction entrance, you spend some significant money doing so.
So you
And
might as well have it
utilize it
used
absolutely.
afterwards.
Yes.
Great. The proposed silt fence, that is the hay bales, correct, or what?
In this case, the thick dash line that runs around the back
Right.
is silk sock. So it's a rounded sock
Uh-huh.
that's filled with straw, mulch-like material. The silk fence is the tall black fence with stakes, sporadically.
Is this similar to what they did at Pondville Medical Center? Okay, but that's removed afterwards. So, you, on the left side, the silt fence will go right up to our property line.
Yes, it's
Okay.
gonna run on the property line, and that's to keep,
And then go down to the street?
and run to the street and then along the front of the
Okay.
road. It's gonna encompass the entire limit of work.
Okay.
So if there's rain, you won't have any washout onto the roadway or
Okay.
into the resource areas.
That's great, and thank you for hearing my questions. We've never had a project like this on Valley Street, and I really am very happy. I'm not allowed to talk to the applicant one-on-one, but if I could, I would say, great job, Al. I really, and I know it means a lot to you that I'm happy. So, I think that's it. Good. Oh, and the trees. I love the tree. That's great. Okay.
Okay. Do we have a motion to close?
After they close.
Make the motion, Steve?
I move that we close the public hearing for 20 Valley Street, application for four single-family duplex-style dwellings.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Good.
Let's try
Not too often that we have a residential that closes in one night.
I know, good. Thank you.
Thank you.
I think Walter did.
Try to
Seconded?
keep it up then.
You seconded?
Who seconded? No, Judge.
John did.
I second it.
In regards to the
Right, you know,
Mylar that we had dropped off for the Form A, I know that I believe it's back in the planning department. At some point tonight, if you can take a look at it and hopefully endorse it, that would be fantastic. Would you like for us to wait around and just have any questions on it?
No.
No? Okay. Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. What else do we have that has to be covered tonight?
We got the fellas down the corner
Toils End
there.
Farm.
Toils End.
Oh, Toils End Farm.
The end of the 12 is coming.
Come on down.
I love that name. I know. It's like if they shifted the 12 to the next person. And then the town. As soon as it
Thought we were through with this.
Yeah, I think we're just different.
That's what this project reminds me of.
That's my understanding.
Betsy, is there a decision for the Alexander Estates?
There is not a decision for Alexander
When does that
Estates.
have to be signed by?
We've got 90 days from the close of the hearing, right, Gino?
When did we close the hearing?
April
A month ago.
14th.
We're gonna make sure we keep our eye on those
Yep.
dates.
Well, no, it's a preliminary plan. It's not 90 days after, but it also has no status. It's only a preliminary plan, so there's no approval that can happen
Oh, okay.
constructively or anything. It's only on a definitive plan.
Do we need to issue an approval?
You don't need to, traditionally you do, and, it provides
guidance
guidance,
for
it
the,
provides
um,
Are
guidance,
they
yes.
waiting on us, or are they moving forward?
They're
with the
moving
start of
forward.
their definitive?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So no, we're not holding them up in any
No.
way.
All right.
Mr. Chairman, Mike Rosati from Marchand Associates. The last time we were here, we had come up with a solution for our drainage issue. We were talking about the relocation of Lot 4 to the other side of the subdivision. And we also had a revised grant of easement for the sewer in the road. And since that time, we had been in front of the selectmen and got their approval to use the town land to construct our project, or our solution. And we're in front of you tonight to hopefully get possibly an approval for the work. I think you closed the hearing at your last meeting.
Were there any outstanding details
Right.
on this one?
Just the bonding.
Was it just bonding? Or
Yeah.
there were no other details
No.
that were left open on this?
I don't think so.
We
We
had the grant
clo-
of easement, they've complied with that.
Right.
The town council has reviewed it. In fact, town council gave them what they were looking for. They used that document, got it signed, so that's
We
done.
also need the conservation restriction on that
I was
lot.
going to
4.
mention that's one thing that you did have condition on, a CR on Lot 4.
Right.
Well,
That's-
why does that require a special conservation restriction? Why can't it just be placed in with the regular open space?
Technically, it could be, and given to the town, but that just changes all the plans.
Oh, okay. Since this is already
This is-
underway,
this is
just leave
simple.
it be, yeah.
So, Mr. Chairman, to be clear, we were proposing giving Lot 4 to the homeowners association or some other entity with a restriction on it that would be no building on that lot.
For Lot 4?
Yes.
Oh, well, if it's got a conservation restriction, I don't think it's possible to do any building on it anyway. Doesn't it have to go before the legislature to get rid of a
And it goes before
conservation?
it goes before the selectmen and the conservation commission. We sign off on that.
I thought the legislature had to go, to
To get rid of it.
To get
but
rid of
not-
it, you
not
do.
get rid of
not
it,
to
yeah,
add it.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I meant.
To put it on is easy.
Yeah, oh, okay. The,
Right.
what was the? Remember what it was there. Oh, okay.
Are you folks going to be starting the drainage pretty soon?
We are going to be gearing up during the appeal period to get ready to go as soon as
Right,
that
okay.
happens.
Good, good.
Let's see now.
Long, hard process, but came out all right at the end.
Thank you for all your help, too, with that, by the way.
Okay, so if, do we have anything that we can actually give an approval to? Do you have a plan of this, or that we can actually approve?
I
That
have.
we can actually look at and say, okay, this is fine with us, and it's on a plan dated such and such and such and such.
Yes. I received a document.
Right.
You have a draft
Con-
approval in your
Do we?
draft decision in your packet.
On the
yeah.
major modification.
Was the last one in the package. I
Mr.
think.
Chairman, I might add
Yeah,
that
this guy here.
Oh,
Yeah. Yep.
Well, I just want to see the modification that goes with this so that we are voting on exactly what what we think we're voting on.
I think that's the drainage plan that we approved last time, that whole
Well,
plan.
we didn't vote to approve it.
No, we just closed.
We just, yeah, we just said, yeah, that
Right,
looks
yeah,
good.
yeah. Actually, that's a good question.
I would also like to add on that sheet that's there, we don't reference the revised Form A plan that the modified definitive plan for showing Lot 4 being moved to the other side of the subdivision.
Oh.
That should be added to.
Could you add that? Who's going to add that? Are you?
wrote it down, but if someone's typing or somebody wants our notes.
Betsy.
This is what was recommended, and we just,
Okay, this is,
and I should point out the date on the drainage plan is.
so Betsy, this should be added to this.
Yes, it is, and it says
that's
13
what
on that sheet, but it should be 15, obviously.
But we should also reference this.
And that's what that is.
That references this?
Yes, it is.
Oh, okay, that's what I was asking about.
So this
That's-
is,
yeah.
this is the, this is Warren Avenue, Warren Drive right here.
Yep.
We're coming down the lot 82, 83 lot line, and we're going out into the open space here and down into this area here, where
And
it's,
that's dated April 6, 2015.
and the last revision is
referenced in here?
5/15.
And you're saying the other drawing is the one that then changes lot 4 into a buildable lot versus what was originally drainage on the approved plan? So there's another
Yes, if you
drawing that
recall,
shows that?
if you recall, moved it down to where lot 68 and 60, Mark, you have a reduced copy of that somewhere?
I forget what number you assigned to that new lot that you created,
I
though.
called it 4A.
4A, okay.
And that would be down in this area here.
Yep.
And Mark has a copy of the
So,
plan.
but lot 4 though,
Mhm.
in the plans that we approved now, this was before my time on the board, but my understanding through the history is lot 4, on the plans we approved, was supposed to be a drainage basin.
Correct.
So does there also have to be a plan changing lot 4?
That's the one that's getting the conservation restriction.
We're gonna leave
Right.
lot 4 the way it is,
But
and
it's
that,
on our plan shown as a drainage basin, so does it need to be changed to conservation?
Oh.
You know
No,
what I mean?
actually,
Like
on,
all
On our plan, it's shown as a house.
yeah.
yeah.
It's a house?
That was
Well,
the
does it need to
problem.
be changed from a house lot to conservation?
Yes.
That's what they're doing.
I think the condition in your approval, if you so chose, could say that lot 4 has been changed and now it needs a conservation restriction on it.
I think all these changes should be
Yeah, what's-
reflected
They
in
should
this
all be
modification.
reflected in
That's
this.
the,
This is the plan that
well,
we
that's-
submitted
okay.
some time
Yes,
ago
that's the-
that
yeah.
showed the
Okay.
lots
It's
being
4A.
created here.
Increasing lots
Yep.
across there.
I
So
remember
that is
seeing
the
it, yeah.
plan that we're referencing in the notes here.
And then the third piece needs to be this conservation switch. So there's sort of 3 changes. There's the drainage portion, there's the
The lot,
lot portion,
and then there's
the
conservation restriction, all have to go into this. Right? Now, do you want this signed before our next meeting? I mean, we can vote on this with these changes, and we can leave the document for people to come back and sign. I mean, if Betsy can get it done tomorrow or the day after, something like that.
Well, we can sign this if this because it's what's attached gets changed, right? So we can still sign the cover sheet, and she
Can I
can
ask
just
a
change
question
the
of the board?
attached.
What's that?
Can I ask a question of the board?
Yes, you may.
Not having that sign, would the board be willing to entertain some lot releases?
Not having what signed?
That actually signed?
Well, let's see now.
I have no problem doing that. I want to move this along and get the drainage
Yeah,
installed.
yeah.
Yeah, I suspect they're not gonna,
Plus, we
like,
can, we
I
can,
don't see any reason why we couldn't sign it as long as we know
we
that the
can sign
attached is
it
gonna be
with
modified.
listed
with
changes.
those-
We could, and just sign it on our own free will. We can vote on it now with the changes as amended.
If I may too, the sooner you sign it, the sooner the appeal period can start.
Yeah.
And then as soon as the appeal period is over, we can start the work. So that's really, that should be our mutual goal, is to get the decision issued.
is this all that has to change is what's attached? Is that true?
Yes. I mean,
So-
there's a
gate, I think, that needs to be filled in, but no changes on the front,
Not
just,
on the front.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
so we can vote it subject to whatever changes we've voted on
The attached.
for what would be on the attached.
Yep.
Is that
Yes.
correct? Okay. So we can sign it tonight.
Yeah, I'm willing to
It'll be
sign
subject to us getting that attached sheet finished. Okay, does somebody want to make that motion?
it. Yeah, I move to approve, what am I asking here? Certificate of amendment, modification, or rescission of approval of a definitive subdivision plan for,
We're only doing the modification.
yeah, okay, dated May 19th, with the amended attachment to be prepared by the clerk for the board.
Incorporating the change in lots for Lot 4A, the conservation restriction being added
To Lot 4.
to Lot 4, and the, what was the third thing?
It's the drainage layout, which he already has.
And the drainage layout.
Right.
One additional one the board may want to consider is the quitclaim deed and granted easements document that I worked with town council on, that
Yes,
we
that should
added
be in
the
there, too.
sewer ownership and maintenance, that was important. for the
I think
board.
that's separate from this vote, though, isn't it? I think so.
I just don't want it to get
Yep.
lost, because it's
Yeah.
in your files now, it's however.
Yeah, it wasn't really a modification.
Would it hurt it to
though.
put it in here?
I don't think it would hurt to put it in there, do you? No. Okay. put it-
Yep. And we can put that as an as part of the attachment also. Just so that it covers you.
Mhm.
So,
Okay,
made a motion, now
do
we
we,
need a second.
do we have a second?
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So now we can sign it.
So easy.
Thanks. I don't have a pen. Oh, thank you. So used to having my stuff supplied and laid out in front of me here. Oh, it was laid out in front of me. It was just covered in papers.
Need less papers.
How many lots, Mike, do you folks have left unreleased?
There's a total of 19.
19. And how many are you looking for?
We've requested 14, those are the lots that are on the Binders Road. And then there's 5 that are on the cul-de-sac that has not been paved yet.
Well, let's look at the lots and see if we can come up with a reasonable number for the time being.
I have one.
Mike has it, I also have the form as well.
Okay, which ones were you looking for? Virtually everything?
As many as the board would be so kind to.
All the
Mark, can I
affordables are
have-
built now, correct?
Can I have that piece of paper, Mark?
Yes,
Are they?
All the affordables are built?
yes.
Excellent.
Right.
Who had the whip out on that one?
So we can't release the ones that don't have a paved surface.
That have no paved surface, right?
And as long as we have the bond all approved, the amount,
Yes,
that's all
for the
set?
drainage work, yes.
So, if I may again, sorry.
Use the mic, please.
If the board were to approve the lots and this form was signed by the board tonight,
Right.
Betsy could hold it. What we've done in the past is Betsy holds it, and then I would execute the bond in the amount that was approved by your consultant, and I would walk in with the original bond, hand it to Ray and Betsy, and then they would hand me the lot releases.
That sounds fine.
Which lots are they, the ones that you're talking about? Because is Farrington paved?
Barrington is paved, yes.
Oh, okay.
So we've
I
got.
don't remember ever even seeing that constructed. That must have gone in quick.
That was paved at the last year
Was it
at the end
really?
of the
Oh.
season, yeah.
Right.
31, 30 through, 30 looks like it's already, no, 30 through 31, which would be these right here, 33 rather, excuse me.
4 there, yeah.
So all of that part of Farrington is constructed also?
Mm-hmm. Yep. We have 60, 65 through 70, so that would be
65 through 71.
71, which would be these
Yeah,
and
okay.
here.
Which will now include your 4A.
4A, yes. Yeah, let's see, what do we have left here?
73 and
73 and 74, which are these two up here.
So the rest you're not asking for?
Right. There's no
We're at
pavement,
28,
right?
29 already, right?
We're not asking for 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17, because Farrington, this portion of Farrington has not been paved.
Oh, that's what I was asking about. Oh, okay. Anyone have any objection to releasing those lots? I guess you've got your releases.
Would you like the list that I have here, or do you?
I'm gonna,
Is it already, it's already written down, Betsy has it, right?
Okay.
We're gonna write it down.
We have something to sign?
Somebody wanna make the motion?
Oh, yeah.
We need the lot numbers, right?
Yeah, we need the lot numbers.
Yeah.
You want to start reading the motion, you can add the law numbers.
Okay, who's gonna make that motion?
Motion to release lots number
30 through 33,
30 through 33,
65 through 71,
65 through 71,
4A,
4A,
73, and 74.
73, and 74, and the
29.
28 and 29?
not 28,
29, okay.
and 29.
These are all it is? 12, 18, 19, 76, 77, those all it is?
yes, yes.
Remember I just said, Betsy?
10 has been
Okay.
released.
I just wrote that.
In the Toils and Farm subdivision.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta tell me these 4 lots.
Yeah.
Actually, 5, I think.
Subject to getting
No objection?
signed bond.
Just want to understand.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Done.
Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you very much. It's the same format.
I haven't been over to see the lake.
These guys are going out for a drink.
I think so. The one over on the,
Mirror Lake?
on Mirror Lake, yeah.
It's interesting.
Is it?
Not a lot
Mark,
of
do you live
yard
in
there,
Norfolk?
but
No, I live in White.
it's got a big
I thought I saw you
Be a
running.
beautiful
12
place to
foot
be.
wall there with a guy next to him.
Well.
He didn't luck out.
That was
He's
approved
looking at it.
prior to us even looking at it.
Yeah. Beautiful view.
Yeah, beautiful view. I'll have to go over and check it out. Oh, what else are we working on here? Do we have something for 106, 108, or, well, it's only 9:30, guys. We've got an enormous amount of work already done. Do you guys want to finish a little bit more?
There's nothing for 106, 108. Maybe.
Oh, there isn't?
I just want to talk about that 100
Left
and
top
something
line.
page,
Oh, wait.
20 of the application.
I gave Betsy an application for 106, 108.
Oh, it's just the
They're
application?
looking for comments. The state is actually looking for comments from the town on that application. I mean, I can put some comments together. Essentially, it's the same application that we saw for a long time with 106 and 108, minus 2 lots. In my opinion, it's a much better development than, just in terms of the structures that are going in.
I'm gonna take this so it doesn't get
I think
lost.
the layout's a little bit better too. They pulled themselves away from the conservation areas, and the stormwater systems designed a little bit differently. There was an interesting fact that was brought up recently when they were doing the stormwater as to which way, generally speaking, how the stormwater was running on site, and it was actually running in a easterly direction, so the southeasterly direction, where one of the plans that came before the planning board showed it going
The water running
southerly.
towards.
It was going southerly, right, and,
Yeah, it's actually going
but it was actually
southeast.
going towards the town pond.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it's,
Which means that all those swales in the front were gonna be no good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually met with the developer, Mass Housing, today, and we had the fire chief, police chief on site. No, excuse me, not the fire chief. One of his men was there, and their engineering firm. So we just walked the site, talked about what was there.
Have you guys seen the landscape architect's plan of the buildings and the walkways?
No, that's what I thought we were gonna see tonight.
It's first class, it's just exceptional. It's just an amazing job they did, amazing job. We're gonna really make that area look beautiful.
Okay. Betsy did send some materials to you via email. So that was that packet that I gave her.
I remember getting something, but there was nothing to open.
And this is, he's got a whole,
It would have been a big file.
Should have been a big PDF file.
Yeah, because I remember getting something for it, but there was no attachment on the page. So
he produced a, what's it, about 40-page
Yeah.
large binder in color of the whole project and
Oh,
all the
okay.
different designs.
And you sent that, Betsy?
I did.
I'm wondering whether or not
I wonder if it went through.
yeah, that's what I'm wondering too.
Sometimes
Because
the
of
big
size of the
files don't make
attachment,
it.
yeah. Betsy, wasn't there someone earlier who asked us to sign a Mylar?
This one, Mrs. L's, the Valley Street, 20 Valley Street Mylar,
Okay.
A&R Mylar,
Oh, okay.
and that's the only thing.
I'll make a motion to sign the Mylar for 20 Valley Street. Do I have a second on that? 20 Valley Street,
Yeah, but-
the A&R.
A&R plan.
I'll second it.
Next time in the office. Let's look at
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Is there anything else that we have to
Minutes?
Just a couple sort of minutes, and John already
discuss the annual town meeting outcome?
We want to ask,
Yes, what?
oh, it's something for Gino. Oh, if he had seen anything in the Christina Estates when he did his review. Turner Greaves.
Oh, Turner Street. That's right. Gino, do you remember Christina Estates?
Never heard of it.
Yeah. You know
He's
this.
ticking now.
You've already commented on this.
His eyes blinking.
Now, isn't this lot that they're proposing located inside the subdivision?
Oh,
Aren't they restricted from adding more lots to inside the subdivision?
they are. If that is inside the subdivision.
Well, it is, because Christina Estates goes way down that way.
Huh.
Probably another quarter of a mile.
Well, in the plan for Christina Estates, how was this lot designated?
It wasn't. It was all part of the Greaves property. This is all their
Oh,
property.
okay.
They just held on to it.
All right, so it was never part of...
Never part of it, no.
I got you, all right.
So I guess the question is, if it was never part of that subdivision, Gino,
Then it still qualifies for
is that
A&R.
an A&R lot?
It does?
If it wasn't
Yes.
part of the subdivision, it's the subdivision that was restricted on
Right.
adding to it.
Right.
If this land, even though it was under the same ownership, but it was not part of the land that was subject to the original subdivision,
Right.
it's just additional land that,
Oh, they can add to a subdivision that...
they're not adding to a subdivision,
They're
they're,
adding land to the subdivision, but technically it's a Form A lot.
yeah,
Oh.
because the road's already there.
Well, I think that requires a double check on what the original subdivision was, just to make sure that...
Sure,
that-
sure.
And one of the neighbors talked about possibly that over covering some open space.
That was, open space that was part of the subdivision?
Yes, that is part of one of those
Then that
lots.
could- Then that should not happen.
Right, so we
Sure.
should take time and overlook
Yeah.
that and see.
Yeah.
Okay, you're still not signing it?
No.
Sign it.
No,
How about the minutes?
make a motion.
Motion to approve the minutes for March 3rd, 2015 and March 31st, 2015.
Second?
All those in favor? Aye.
Must be your friends in California.
My daughter.
One thing back to that, oh, I'm sorry.
No,
Oh, you
go ahead.
didn't finish voting on that, did you?
We're not gonna vote.
This
on it.
one? We're not gonna,
No, the minutes, are you
Yeah,
done
we
with
voted.
that?
We-
Oh, okay.
we voted.
The problem with that, with not signing it, is it will get constructive approval if it's filed with the town clerk after 21 days, and it wasn't filed, okay, then it should be okay.
Go ahead, family is important.
no. Going away. There. Goodbye.
After how many days?
So how many
20
days?
21 days after it's filed with the town clerk. But if it's not been filed with the town clerk, those days haven't started yet, so.
Has that been filed with the town clerk?
Has not been filed with the town clerk.
And we are meeting on the 16th, so we might, even if they file it within the next couple of days, they could get that 21 days.
Yeah, they could.
Yeah, so if that happens, maybe if Betsy just watches for it, you could call a special meeting or something.
They're not gonna file.
No? Yeah, well, just watch for it, just to check and make sure.
I will.
And we also want to make sure that you can, that you guys check about that open space. I can't imagine us allowing open space,
No,
With- on
well,
the Reeves
no,
property, but-
absolutely not.
but,
Although technically, just because you, remember, an A&R, signing an A&R just means it's not a subdivision. It doesn't have anything to do about buildability, though obviously you would create a lot of confusion. But even if there's a circle on it and everything, and that land is in the open space, that restriction would still apply to that land. But it might slip through the cracks too, and
Right.
nobody notices it, so.
Right.
yeah, I mean, where would you put a house on that lot? Isn't that the edge of the wetlands?
Yep.
And then 50 feet would bring you out to the no-build zone?
And not only that, but
There's a 50-foot setback from the street.
But it looks like they, from the Conservation Commission point of view, they're creating their own need to cross the wetlands where they could do a different layout and access the uplands. Maybe they won't get as many lots, but.
Yeah, they're creating a hardship.
Well, yeah, the original, the lot with the house and barn on it, I mean, they could divide that. I think, it looks like they're saving that divide in the future, but they could create an access to the upland through that section.
That's right, that's what we were talking about.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier, yeah. In fact, the plan that the neighbor submitted must have been an earlier version of this and had an extra lot.
Where the barn is.
Yeah, with a barn.
Oh,
And we were talking, well, you could cut a road, a driveway through there and put the house up in here.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I'll put a house up in here, right?
Which they still could,
Yeah.
if they wanted to do it that way. All right. So there's nothing from town meeting that's discussable? You noticed I wasn't there, right? You
Yes,
must have noticed I
yes,
wasn't
we
there.
noticed
Walter
that.
did.
Well, just the two zoning articles that went as the planning board recommended.
Was there any discussion on them?
Not much.
No?
A little bit of discussion about that two-lot thing, and they suggested go back to the planning board and work with the planning board to see if you.
Oh, that was that was the citizen petition.
Oh, yeah.
By John Robbins. And it was really pointed at that parcel he's got, what the heck is? MacArthur, that's right, yeah. I mean, the concept may have some validity, but the process he used to get it in front of the town meeting wasn't the best way to go.
The one down by the lake?
Yeah,
That was the one going up the hill
Yeah,
and then.
yeah.
I mean, so just that, I mean, there may be some validity in what he's asking, but, and that's what I said on town floor.
Well, it's tough to change zoning when someone just comes forward and says, well, I need this, so therefore let's change zoning
When
for it.
it's single
God
zoning.
knows what's gonna happen a year down the road when someone looks at it and says, Whoa, wow, look at this.
That's why it's never recommended for approvals with the different boards.
Yeah.
It has to go through the vetting process.
I mean, look what happened to the, to the B1 district.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, to think that it took so many years to get it to the point where it was and was gone.
Yeah.
Just gone.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess that's it? A motion to close?
So moved.
Second?
All those in favor? Aye.
Where's that mic?